is set for any other challenge that is coming, and it's not going to be, of course, something ordinary. They are very ready to say that they also go and surprise or get to know that there's football made in that is West Nile. At the same time, in Yumbe, he's going to be making sure that these boys do the right things in what is called their game in there. So there are around 25 players or contingent that are going, and 5 officials. So that means around 30 team, a contingent of 30 people are traveling, and this is going to be another interesting way to talk about. Before we cross away from the regional league, just like there's a big story that popped up yesterday after, of course, the team of Arua City Football Club unveiling a shirt sponsor, but a training kit sponsor that they are going to be having, of course, to see that they get themselves in there. And I can tell you that it has not been easy, because the club itself utilizes a lot of chances to see that this works out. Out of that, what would you say? Yeah, because they are going to be having 2 things. Seeing that their training has at least somebody attached to. And remember, the little money you give in there will always help the club. Now, how is this club going to participate in this forthcoming? Because their game is tomorrow, a Saturday, where you'll be expecting a lot of games that probably also one will really want to know about, and one will always want to see how they are going to deliver, because they have a lot that you can talk about in their zone. So acquiring a sponsor, what does that mean for them anyway as a Arua City Football Club? It means a lot, because they have gotten themselves chances of trying to, at least that shows that they can lobby. Their marketing team is trying to do something that is so strong in terms of lobbying, in terms of being the best in the league. Of course, a few of them are having such sponsors. So we want to see. That means they will still remain as their kit. The official kit, matchday kit, will still have the aruacity.com, but the training kit will have a different sponsor that they will be talking about. I think I need to first check onto this sponsor, how detailed it is, because it's an investment company that Arua City Football Club has acquired for, of course, purposes of transparency, for purposes of making sure that it really gets to the nerves and add at least something, because the city, I'm told, the city is not really giving much. Yeah, the city is not giving much. The budget is always there, but when the team is supposed to start something, it is always very hard for them to release the monies, for them to kick off. Purchase is always done once. So it gives you a challenge of how do you run this team? How do you make sure that the team gets to where you need it to be? That's one big question that every other person is going to be asking, because there are a lot of small things that you really will need for a team like Arua City to go. One of them is the traveling, because the city does not have, of course, a ready, I should say, a transport mean that you're going to be giving. Before, in fact, in the first season, we did see it was the team of, it was the chairman's van that used to transport these players. Later on, they had to, of course, start hiring. So it's so costly. But if you get a leasing company that can take some of these burdens, then it's very good. So yesterday, they unveiled a partner for that is 2024-2025 season. It's called, the sponsor is called Eratha Investments Company Limited. This is a very big one, because it means big for them, as their announcement came timely. It will be, of course, a training shirt sponsor. Arua City is also, by the way, coming up with their new kit. They will be unveiling, because this was the training kit that they really published. So they want to start selling. I was told that around 30,000, they want to push it. and making sure that this works out. So let's wait and see how this will be. But of course, the training, remember they started training also late, by the way. By 1st October, that's when they started training. But when other clubs had already started trainings, let's say 2 months ago, and they will want to compete. So it is a very big challenge for them. We're expecting to see that Arua City this time round needs to get there. So they are selling also their kits. Can they make money out of the kits because they have put it at 40,000 Ugandan shillings? Can they make that money? Yes, I think that's where, if you're really a fan, that's where you need to support a club like your own club that you really want. Supporting means by purchasing this, you're already supporting the club indirectly, because that money will be converted to some of the activities, to doing some of the activities in the club. So let's look into how this would be, but that's one big story that is coming. So are we expecting this to be one of the biggest stories for a regional league side this time? We are waiting to see how they will be performing, because that's one big story that one will also want to follow so much because of what level of organization they are trying to push and they are trying to show to the to the world. Yeah. So interestingly, we shall be waiting to see how that moves on right there. Before even we get to that, there is also another big momenta in what is called the cricket. Cricket Cranes is also doing very well, by the way. They are still trying to push and making sure that they make things work out for them after, of course, quite a long time. Now, in this yesterday, in a unique and, of course, appealing manner that the team tried so much, the National Local Cricket Governing Body came out saying that this is the time to, of course, dominate and do a lot of things, as the Uganda Cricket Association announced the 14th man for, that is the ICC, of course, Men's Cricket World Cup Challenge League B, that will be coming in there. Through, that is, their various social media platforms, they had published all this, saying that it's the time for them to, of course, make sure that this works out. And of course, they also announced the format of the format, and of course how it is going to be contained, how things are going to be running in this, of course, challenge. So they are ready, and 14 players, and of course their respective shirt numbers were allocated yesterday and announced. The squad includes 2 new names, I can tell you. One of them is Shiripdeep Mangela, and of course Raghav Dhawan, who has also been one name that has been added. That will, of course, be the debate for Uganda, because these names don't sound to be Ugandan names. But of course, the duo made its first appearance, I should say, for the Cricket Crane during their recent bilateral series that has been right there. And of course, that was against PNG, yeah, in September in Entebbe. But of course, after that, you did see them come so competitively well, and of course also putting the performance to shock the rest of course, the spectators who watched them for the first time. So this exactly made them to qualify to make sure that they will be fitting in into, that is, the national team to represent them. Now, in a shocking twister, the opening batsman Simon Sesazi has also been one big name that I could tell you who has been left out of the squad, because very many have been watching him on how he has been doing things, how things have been working out for him, but this time around he has been left out of, that is, the squad. And it is the first time since 2018 that this player is being left out, and of course a left-hander that he has always been, he will not be featuring for, that is, the Cricket Cranes this season. Now, of course, the wicket keeper Baker, who ranked 3rd, of course, globally as the player with, of course, the most consistent matches, 82 of them is what she has put in there for, of course, a team in the T20s, yeah, T20s, made, of course, this list. And this is going to be a very big one, because it's a debut for her. When she made, of course, I mean, it was a debut for her when she made it in January, trying to prove the rest of the people in the same competition. But of course, in 2022, yes, she did a lot. She accumulated, of course, 10 caps in that is the format, returning 389 runs to one name in there. This meant very big. But of course, with the exception of the veteran Frank Nsubuga, no player on that is the squad has, of course, amassed more runs than the 28-year-old right in there. So, as I talk, another opening talking point comes right there. And another opening batter, I'm talking about Rogers Mukasa, has also been another name to talk about, and has also been excluded from that is the squad. So Mukasa was also not in that is the team that traveled to South Africa for that is the training camp. But of course, at the same time, you'll see that one play that he made, he tried pushing in there, showed a lot of things to him. And the biggest was when he played against the team of PNG, and that is the Biletari game that went in there. So it was so challenging that you did see. With, of course, Sesanzi and Renak Patel have all been in the name, and of course other shocking names that have come through the team. So we're waiting to see what exactly that would be before I give you a whole full list of that what Uganda has gone with, because the Uganda Cranes against Singapore will be another big one. That is the bowel they are put in of the campaign on 6th of 6th. That will be at Lugogo next month, and as of course the only game of the day that will be for the 6th. So let's look at who are some of the names that this the national team has called. One of them is Robinson Oboya, who has been, of course, Oboya has been called. And then there's Apes Ramjani, whom I just told you that has joined newly. Then Pascal Murunji, then Shiridip has also come in. Of course, Mangala. This is sounds a unique name. Of course, you could hear the name. Kenneth Waiswa has also been called. Then Ragav Hawan has also been called. Then Juma Miyanji, who has also been called. Then there's Reizat Alice Shahi, who is the captain of the team, by the way. He is still into the campaign. Then Harry Senyondo and Henry Senyondo has also been called. Then there's Dimnesh Nakiarin, who has also been called. Brian Masara has also been called into the team. Fred Acheliman has also been called. Then there's Cosmas Cheuta, who has also been called, and Freddy and Suruga. Those are the names, 14 names that have been called. But there's Chris, there's Cyprus, Kakuru, and of course Joseph Baguma, who have been right there on the reserve team. Probably in case of anything, they will be called to see that they join the team to move forward. So those are some of the big talking points that I just needed to bring you this very afternoon. But before we get to also that, there was a Uganda Premier League that went on, and you did see, of course, teams are proving to be one of the big names in there. Who and where did these games go? That's where we shall be crossing over to shortly after I give you this national story, also including that is the Olympics in there. Now the International Olympics president came to Uganda recently, and he also held Uganda's praises, and of course say that Uganda's role in sports and refugee support has been so immense that they have been doing a lot of things. So now the International Olympics Committee, President Thomas Bach has said that this is a very big one, and he commended that Uganda. He commended Uganda for that, and saying that Uganda is such an innovative country, and they should do more to use sports to aid refugee, and of course pledged to mobilize more international support for the country's effort that they have put through India. So Uganda is a shining example, not only by that is allowing people to cross, but of course by also having progressive policies giving refugees land access to that is schools and health centers. Bach said that in his speech. So in attendance there was of course the Minister for Sports, the State Minister for Sports, Education and Sports, that is of course, the First Lady, and then we did also see His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni being in that attendance, and of course a lot of things that came through, because during that meeting, the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, did say that he said that this was a very big one. But he expressed his, of course, admiration for Uganda's leadership, and that is providing safe for refugees. Now, this is going to be one big thing that he is going to look into, is that I urged him, Yoweri Kaguta, to say after all that, though he said a lot of things, but with a couple of actions that went through, URA, UPDF, all that came in action. Now, there was a wholesome day of draws, where you did see clubs putting in amazing performances in there. I did tell you that UPDF will not want to lose at their home at Bombo Military Barracks grounds. Now, UPDF and URA had to tightly contested goalless draw that went on so amazingly at Bombo Military Barracks yesterday. Now, the host, yes, had to dominate the first half, creating several chances, scoring opportunities, but couldn't really put in there. But they failed totally to see that they capitalize on them. So it was another big one. But of course, in an opening contest, UPDF Football Club thought they had grabbed an early lead within, of course, the opening 5 minutes through Joseph Janjali. But Bashir Kabuye's deflection was ruled out for, that is, an offside, so they couldn't get that goal. But despite the setback, I did see the host also trying so much to see that they continued with the pressing, with Samuel Sekamate, the likes of Samson, of course Chigozi, all of course of that is sports club, the URA. But all in all, despite their efforts, they couldn't make it. Second half, so of course both teams are struggling to create clear-cut chances. Defensive, holding firm, and all the teams trying to see now they need to really at least get a draw maybe if things don't work out, and indeed that was a very big one. Now the result leaves the UPDF on 9 points while URA on 8 points. That's one big one that you could be seeing. Next matches you did see they will both return to action on of course first, and that will also be a Friday of next month. UPDF will host Sports Club Villa, will go to Sports Club Villa, on that is their own home on Wankulukuko, while URA will host Chitara at that is Nachivubo. So that's how they are coming in there. Let's leave that there and look at what exactly happened. Maroons also were held by a Sports Club Villa at their home at Luzira to a 1-1 all draw. That meant very big for Maroons Football Club. Of course, the fight back was so big to deny, that is the side to see that they really denied that win. Now, Sports Club Villa winless run still extended to, that is, 3 games after they were held to a 1-1 all draw by Maroons yesterday. The defending champions looked so good. Yeah, they looked for that hard fight, but couldn't get that victory because David Owori's well-taken free kick gave them an early lead that they could maybe capitalize on and defend, maybe get there. But however, Maroons struck back late in, that is, the game, with only 13 minutes remaining into the game to end this game, and indeed they really had a very good one. A pinpoint across from Godwin, of course, Chitagenda, who had a very good delivery, found Jackson Dunda, who of course was unmarked in the box, and made it very easy for him to calm it at the back of the net to see that they had that draw well convinced at their own home. So it was interesting for such a team to see in there. Jogos have now gone 3 games, I can tell you, 3 games totally without getting any win, and that means very bad for them because they are a team that has always been there. Their recent game, you did see them including a defeat 2-0 to, that is, Vipers, a 2-2 all draw against Bright Stars, and now they have squandered 2 goals lead that has also been in their challenges in there. So very bad. The players used that came through had a very good impact, trying to prove things work out here and there, but still it wasn't their day. They couldn't really make sure things go the way they expected. So interestingly, they were held at that is Luzira Stadium. So it was not a very good one. Yes, let's go away from there. Now I want to come to the biggest league to talk about, and in the hardest league in Uganda. I'm talking about FUFA Big League. Someone would be shocked why I went first to the Star Times Uganda Premier League than the big league. Yes, yeah, a couple of actions happened yesterday. Of course, a game, in fact, a game on card was yesterday for the big league entity. I'm talking about Arua Hill Sports Club that welcomed the Kataka Football Club for their first ever game at Peche Stadium. Of course, a good turn up for that is them at that is Peche, and of course, getting also a brilliant, convincing, comfortable win at Peche Stadium meant very big for such a team like Arua Hill Sports Club ahead over their remaining games. Now, of course, Arua Hill beat Kataka 2-0 to register their first ever win of the season 2024-2025 season. Ever since they've, of course, transferred from Arua City to that is Gulu City, and of course Credo Nazarene Primary School, they have not yet won any. They have not yet gotten any win at that is their home. But today, in fact yesterday, they got that chance to see that they beat Team Kataka Football Club by 2-0 in there. It was of course their first game at home, and having of course had their opening two games from away from home. So that means very, very big if they can win there. But they lost to Blacks Power, they lost to Boma Football Club respectively. Now, of course, their same thing I can tell you is that midfielder Simon Okot scored the first, and then of course it is the first player to score for Arua Hill at Peche Stadium. We did also see Nicholas Luzige coming through to also get the second half second goal for that is the team of Arua Hill Sports Club. That does not change them so much. They still tried so much to see that they get themselves through, but tried really to push in there. They are still in the relegation zone, the danger zone, but they're already away from that point. Now, Mida gets back to that is the lower point because they have only 1 point. They have not yet gotten any point. Before visiting Gulu, Lufumbe had drawn, of course, 1-1 with that is Busoga United before beating, of course, Boma 1-0 at Mbale. So this is so big for Kataka, and they are trying to see how they can strategize and put things work out for them this time round. What are we expecting, and what is that big thing that one will really want to see from such an big league team? That's one thing that we shall be expecting. Today there are no games you could be expecting as such because Big League resumes or returns tomorrow with of course an outclassing game. Ntunga Saze will be taking on Nduparaka Football Club, and all games, by the way, for Big League have now been turned or twisted or brought, I mean the timing have changed because that notification was sent to all the club CEOs of that is FUFA Big League that all games shall kick off at 3 p.m. That is according to FUFA, of course, competition. Now, of course, Saturday, tomorrow, Ntunga Saze will play on Nduparaka Football Club. That game will be at Mitiana. Then, of course, on Sunday, Gaddafi takes on Calvary, as, of course, Maida takes on by the Black Angels. Busoga United will be welcoming Chiinda Boys. Boma FC will be taking on Karunji. Those are some of the big games that will be coming in the FUFA Big League. And, of course, you should really not miss those chances because all these games count. So let's take a break. When I come back,